there, today I'm going to be covering 10 foundational things I teach all of my new clients when beginning a healthy life journey. Hi, I'm Pennie the Accountability Queen. I'm a fitness trainer and nutrition guidance coach of over 20 years, and in my time I've helped many people remain accountable to the goals that they set. And today I'm going to go over 10 of those things that I help to utilize with my new clients so that they understand kind of where they need to base everything and what to look back on when they're having some struggles along the process. Without further ado, let's begin. Number one is it's all about checks and balances. You know how you have to keep everything balanced in life and checks and balances in your checkbook and your banking account? Well, it's the same when it comes to fitness and nutrition. Your first step to getting on the right path is to remember to plan your life around that which you don't usually do. So if you're trying to incorporate something new into your life like fitness and your workouts and nutrition, healthier nutrition, you've got to map that out. You've got to plan your life around it. And I've always been a firm believer in this. This is one of the biggest ones that helped me to do my competitions that I've done and many other goals I've set for myself is to map my life out around my nutrition and what those nutritional needs are going to be and getting the shopping done and getting all of the stuff done around it so that I've got that stuff in place when I need it. Life throws us a bunch of wrenches and we have to learn to balance it. And the only way to kind of get that habit created and incorporate this as a lifestyle is to map your life around it first and foremost, and then just let it become part of your routine. Number two, get yourself a personal planner. Yes, I have my own personal planner. I keep track of what I'm doing in there, or a wall calendar, something tangible that you can keep track of your own personal goals, your own personal journey, how you were feeling, your workouts. Map your life out around these things for a while until they become second nature, until this becomes something you look forward to because you get to look back on it and it gets to show your progress, or maybe when you had some pitfalls. You can always use an app to track your food, and that's fine if you want to use an app. But if you use an app on your phone, typically when it comes to like personal goals or something where you're trying to get on track with a workout becoming a routine, a lot of times those tracking devices get shoved aside and they're just not as personal as having your own book to write in, to write your story in. Number three, consistency is king. You have to remain consistent if you want to have progress in your life. If you want to make change in your life, when you fall off track, because things aren't going to be perfect all the time anyway, we try, don't we? You've got to get right back on track. You can't let yourself go so far off track that you're not remaining consistent. And that's consistent in incorporating better foods in your diet, incorporating more exercise and more movement. And so the consistency should be getting better and better over time. But in the beginning, it might feel like you're a little off track more often, or maybe you're going all out in the beginning and then all of a sudden the consistency falls off because you went too much in the beginning. So just watch that. You want to have that consistent flow over a long period of time to really see true and sustaining progress. Number four, eat real food. Yes, wholesome real foods matter big time, way more than you think. It's actually like 80 to 85% of your progress and your results are going to come from the foods you ingest in your body. We are made of what we eat. What we eat on a consistent basis is what our bodies are made up of. Believe it or not, whether you want to or not, I've lived my life on this. That's how I've competed. That's how all of my clients have lost any weight, gotten in shape, or gotten healthy and recovered from illnesses like autoimmune deficiencies, is by how they treat their bodies with what they're putting in them. I cannot stress this enough. It is number one, top priority, hands down, all the way. Eat wholesome foods. You cannot continue to put crap in your body or overeat excessive calories, even if they're somewhat healthy, and expect your body to pay you dividends. It's just not going to. Number 5, eat organic whenever possible. The reason for this is you want to decrease your toxic load. You want to get it down, meaning we're exposed to about 80,000 chemicals a day, if you can believe that, in our environment. Through the air we breathe, the water we drink, the exhaust we breathe in and are exposed to, the foods we eat, the chemicals we use in our household products. There are so many ways we are exposed to toxins. The last place you want it is through your food. What happens with this is that our food's conventionally grown and we are exposed to all those chemicals, pesticides, herbicides. And unfortunately, when we eat out at restaurants, majority of restaurants, about 90% of them, do not offer organic. So unfortunately, we're exposed to that when we eat out too often. It's another reason not to eat out too much. And that leads me to number 6, bulk buy and batch cook. If you want to get the best deals and you want to remain stringent on your regimen and keep foods readily available, your best bet is to go to the bulk stores, something like Costco, Sam's Club, somewhere you can find organic foods, more organic foods anyway, for a better price. Number 1. Number 2, being able to batch cook some of your foods and put them in nice containers, freeze some of them, or have them spelled out so that you've got them ready for your lunches each day. That is one way you're going to save on calories, and another way you're going to save on money. If you go to Costco in particular, Costco is one of the top sellers of organic produce and organic frozen foods that there are. They're like number 1. And it has helped our family immensely switch over to organic without breaking the bank. Now, I'll get into what we buy some other video, but right now I just want to stress the point of remembering to meal prep, okay? And buying in bulk and batch cooking bigger batches, or when you make a meal, making a double portion so that you have more to take for lunches of something healthy you've made at home, or freezing it for another meal down the way so you make 2 of them. Number 7, set limiters for yourself when it comes to having a cheat meal or a cheat. Make sure you are adding that into your calendar depending on your schedule, depending on maybe a party you want to go to with friends, or if it's a weekly dinner you have with your significant other where you go out and there's a certain place you love to go. In the beginning, you can keep that in. Let that be your thing, that fun surprise, that fun reward, I should say. And I don't think there's anything wrong with rewarding yourself with something good at the end of the week, because food is meant to be enjoyed. It's meant to be sat down at a table, breaking bread with your partner, your family, your friends. So it's a great time for fellowship, and you want to have that time to relax. You have to remind yourself that there are limiters to what you can have depending on what you've earned. Okay, so along the way, if you've worked really hard all week, you've gotten all your workouts done, you've maintained a really good steady pace with that nutrition, and you know you can have a little bit of something that night, have it, enjoy it. But expect that if it's filled with sodium, filled with sugar, you're going to retain a little bit of water. The scale's going to show puffy for a couple days. We'll call it puffy. So, you've got to know your limit. If you have not earned that and you've been wavering all week, you might not want to go overboard when you go out to eat that night. You might want to really watch what you're eating and go ahead and use that as a regular meal. Look on the menu ahead of time before you even get to the restaurant. Look online. Pick out something that's healthier on the menu. Stick with a salad, get the dressing on the side, don't use too much. Get yourself some protein source there. Tell them not to cook it with too much oil. And you've got yourself as healthy a meal as you can have at that restaurant. And next time, maybe you've earned the little bit more leeway in those limiters that you have for yourself. Number 8, remember it's all cumulative. Remember to look back on your week, on your month, and add up all the great things that you have done, all the big steps. that might have been small to you at the time, but they add up to big change in the long run. So just remember, it's all cumulative. You want to keep track in that planner, keep yourself accountable in your nice little personal planner, because you're going to be able to look back on that and you're going to be able to add it up and say, oh my gosh, I am making strides. Wow, what am I going to be like in 6 months if I keep this up? And keep using that to be intentional and to level up more and more as the weeks pass along. Number 9, it's all about perspective. Whatever you focus on expands. So if you're going to focus on the dread of it, and you're going to focus on, this is going to be so difficult, this is so difficult, I don't like this, I have to sacrifice this, then guess what? You're going to get more of that. You're going to feel more of that. And then it's going to become a stronghold in your life. But if you focus on, you know what, this is going to be great in a year, in 6 months, in whatever amount of time, I'm going to see my body change. I'm going to feel 10 times better. And I'm going to see a different perspective of things as time goes on. So the more that you embrace the fact that you get to eat healthy food that your body was actually designed to eat, yeah, go figure. We're actually designed to eat fruits, vegetables, and healthy things, not processed man-made things that are treated and made to hijack our taste buds and make us think that we want them, when really that's not what we need. And you're going to feel so much better when you keep your perspective and your focus on your goals, the end result, your transformation that you're looking for in your life. Always focus on that end result. Visualize where you want to be. I've got a couple videos on goals and visualizing. You may want to check those out if you haven't set any goals. It's very important for you to start by setting goals. And if you have some of those goals concrete, set, and written out in your planner and in your mind and in your face more often, you're going to have a better perspective even on those hard days, because the hard days are going to come, and the days are going to come where you're going to be stressed out and you're maybe not going to get everything done that you wanted to get done, and you're going to want to give up. But your perspective and remembering and writing everything down that was good, that happened in other days, is going to keep fueling you forward into your new you. And number 10, we've made it. You can't out-train a bad diet. All right, let that sink in. Basically, you can't go to the gym and run off a bunch of bad calories, a bunch of sugar, a bunch of crap that you ate at lunch on a consistent basis. This doesn't mean that if you fall off the wagon a little bit here and there, you're not going to eventually get to your results. It might set you back, but remembering that your nutrition and what you put in, the fuel you put in your tank, is about 85% of your results. Okay, let that sink in. I know I've mentioned it before, but any athlete knows that you're not going to perform as well, you're not going to have the gains that you should have, and especially when you go to get on stage and you're in figure or any kind of physique athlete. Everything rides on what you're putting in your body, the rest that you're getting, and the workouts that you're putting in. It's a triangle. You've got to get rest, you've got to get good nutrition, and you have to get your movement in. You got to get your activity in. You got to get your workouts in. So remembering that you can't out-train the bad diet is key. Be sure and hit subscribe and that bell notification so you get notified every time I upload new content on tips and tactics just like these. Thank you for joining me. Blessings until next time. Take care.